is a meeting of the Board of Education and the public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. FLSD Policy 0165.1. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated. Item number 2, opening ceremony. Do I have a volunteer to read the mission and vision statement, please?
Would you like to do it, Jaleesa?
I'd love to. All right, our mission is to foster a community of learning and belonging. Our vision is to be a learning community centered on strengths, possibilities to empower our students and staff to think critically, grow intellectually, and live with integrity. Item number 3, additions to and approval of the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, any additions?
I actually do like to add addition to the agenda. If we could put it at 12, right?
Yep, item number 12.
We need to discuss the real estate transfer agreement regarding the Whitaker property.
All right, we'll need to have a roll call vote on that, Anita.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMillan?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 4, approval of the minutes from the special meeting of December 8th, 2025. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Okay,
I'll
go ahead.
second.
All right.
Okay. Any questions or concerns? All right, those in favor of approving the agenda, please indicate by stating aye.
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 All right. Moving on to item number 5, administrative report. Mr. Smith?
Yes, Madam President and Board, thank you. Yeah, I think it takes a real special person to be a board member. The commitment, the time, the energy, all of those pieces come together. And 3 dynamic people. I've only known you for a short amount of time, but that short time has been a real eye-opener for me. So I'm sure the community appreciates you. There are 2 types of people in the world. There are people who like to be counted in, but they don't want to be counted on. You guys have been counted in and counted on. And we totally appreciate you. I hope to see you in the community, especially when there's cold days, that you come around and keep us warm, keep us safe, keep us dry. And there are 3 people that I'd like to come up. Is Audrey here tonight? Okay. What about Shabi? And Selena? All right, come on.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.
There's a little note that you'll read on there. And, no, this is not for you. This is for somebody else. All right, okay. It's like, thank you, Merry Christmas. No, dear. All right. And let me see. Let me find a good smiling face. Mr. Hamill. Yeah, come on. I need you. Yes, sir. Okay, so on the little card. Yeah. To the podium. First.
To Mr. Ray, thank you for your outstanding service to the Finneytown community. Your commitment towards excellence is making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have to show us what's in the bag, so.
To Mrs. McMillan, thank you for your outstanding service to the Finneytown community. Your commitment towards the excellence is making a difference.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
thank you for your outstanding service to the Finntown community. Your commitment towards excellence is making a difference. Thank you.
Bless you.
Yes, bless you. Thank you.
All right, the next piece.
Oh my goodness.
This is your opportunity.
I would like to say, the two kids that I know just came up here, we have watched you grow over the last 4 years. And I remember you being here at some of the first meetings. I remember seeing you in our community. And it is so amazing. That is my favorite part of being a board member, is seeing the growth and our kids really come out of their shells and blossom and become not adults, but humans, and excellent humans. So, thank you.
Ms. Lee, there were 3 people that came up.
Yes, there were
Okay.
3. I was talking about the children and how they've grown. And Mr. Hamill, thank you as well for coming up. I really do appreciate your service as well.
All right. Did you have any more? Okay.
No, we need you to say a few words.
I have my stuff.
Okay.
I have something coming, yes.
I'm the same.
Okay, all right.
Yep, it's coming.
Authentic from partnerships, music and art students. Are they here?
So we're here.
All right, good evening, everybody. Is this
Yeah,
working?
it works through.
Okay. I'm Julie Fickey. I am part of the Finneytown Secondary Campus Art Department. I am here with Matthew Nichols and Megan Kelly. We have been invited to share some of our artwork with you, and we also brought along, invited Kiana, and she agreed to talk to you about her artwork specifically and what the arts have meant to her throughout her high school education, because she's a senior this year. And then when she is finished, we'll explain some of the artwork that's on display this evening.
Hello, everyone. I know I agreed to do this just because I enjoy my art classes so much. I enjoyed my classes that I had last year, which was Art Express, I believe. I enjoyed fiber arts this semester with Mr. Nichols, who was our newer art teacher. I'm very proud of him for learning so quickly and adapting to our classroom and everything. I also appreciate him allowing me to kind of go off on a whim and just be able to experiment with some of the things I've gotten to do. And also our lovely projects here. You can display it if you'd wish. I'm not sure how heavy that is, but I'd say it took me about 2.5 weeks-ish. And yeah.
Perfect for today.
No, actually. I will not be making another one anytime soon. Not in the slightest. But I do appreciate just how supportive he was, of course, this year. And yeah, that thing is very heavy. It's not easy to haul around school. It was even harder to stuff in a locker when I had to pick it up. But yeah, that's my just appreciation for all of them. I've had you for, I think, 8th grade. And I wanted to kind of expand more on that. I haven't had Miss Kelly as an art teacher, but I do love her as a person. I do go to her room for lunch. I enjoy just being around you occasionally, you know. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
I have a question. Do you plan to continue your artistry after graduation, or how do you plan to tie it up into the
100%.
future?
Yeah, I will say, like, working on art projects does help me calm down a lot because, as, of course, you know, I'm a senior this year, so a lot of things are a lot more stressful, of course, you know, trying to get your credits, trying to maintain a good standard of how you are academically. So just, you know, working in art classes, I mean, you've probably heard me say this a million times if you've ever been to them, but I really do enjoy being there. Should I put this back, please? Should I put the mic back?
So last week, we had our secondary campus art show. It was showcasing the work of grades 7 through 12. It was in the media center along with the book fair, so some people had an opportunity to come through and to see all of the work, but this is a small sampling that we brought today that was handpicked by Mr. Smith himself. He came through the show, and the pieces that like struck a chord with him are the ones that he collected. And so there are a few assignments that you'll see up here. I'll share a couple, and then Mr. Nichols, Matthew, and Megan Kelly, they'll share their assignments as well. I have work from drawing and painting, and so you'll see some of these portraits, self-portraits that were done by the students, and it may look kind of familiar in style because it was based off of the artist Tim Burton. And so what actually happened is the 8th graders did their self-portraits first. And as their samples were hanging in the classroom, the upperclassmen in drawing and painting came in, and they were like, "What is that, Mrs. Fickey?" And I said, "Well, those are the, you know, portraits and self-portraits that the 8th graders are working on." And they immediately said, "Well, do we get to do that?" And I said, "Well, I wasn't planning on it, but do you want to do that?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, those are so awesome. I want to make one of myself." And so when they did a practice, a few of them chose a couple of teachers to do a portrait of in that style. And I believe they've given them to their teachers since then, just because they enjoyed doing it so well. So you'll see a few of the self-portraits of the students in that style. And then another project we did in drawing and painting is this watercolor here. And that watercolor was done, first the students had to learn how to mix the watercolors to make a range of colors and just to learn how to work with watercolor. Watercolor is kind of deceiving, like you get them first when you're a kid, but they're really one of the hardest painting mediums I think to work with. And so we did a little bit of practice first, and then we learned some different techniques where you can like add salt to the watercolor to see what happens, or layer plastic on top to see what kind of print it might make. And then the students hand drew their stencils, and then they painted actually backwards. So you start with your first layer, and then you trace your stencil, and then when that next layer dries, you have to underlap. We're used to overlapping, but they had to underlap the next layer in order to get the illusion of depth in here, and so it looks like the turtles are kind of swimming in different depths of water. So that's what you're seeing there.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Matthew Nichols. I am the newest addition to Finneytown's Fine Art Department. I teach fiber art, which is what we saw the examples of with Kiana. I teach jewelry, and I also teach digital art. And so the pieces that we have hung up here on the screens that are from my classes are those from our digital art class. So I don't know if we have a few portraits, the side view portraits that you see, the ones with color. These are my students' first attempt at digital illustration. So we started the semester. Well, I should preface, I've never taught digital art as a class specifically before. And so I started the semester really focusing on what was left behind. And I noticed that as we were doing those lessons, that a lot of the students in their free time in between assignments were experimenting on their own with the drawing tools in the program that we were using. And I saw that their engagement and their excitement about the things they were doing in the free time was higher than the actual lessons we were doing. So I started to shift the content to be more in tune with what they were interested in, or what I was observing that they were interested in. So a lot of them were drawing and experimenting with shading and the different drawing tools, and so that's what we focused on. So with these portraits, they like I said, this is their first attempt at digital illustration. Their task was to practice and learn how to blend different colors together, manipulate different brushes in Photoshop, experiment with brush width and size, and it was through practicing all those skills and putting them together that we had this accumulation that was this project. So we didn't just dive into this, it was multiple skills that they had to learn, and it was really cool to see the engagement go up when the content was more in line with what I think they might be interested in. So I think the project was a success, and I'm excited to see where the class goes in the future. All right.
I'm Megan Kelly. I teach grades 7 through 12. I teach Honors Art Seminar, Foundations Express, which is a half-year art class, and Foundations, which is a full year, and 7th grade, which is half a year. So I apologize for my hat, but I've had it on all day, and you don't want to see what's going on under here with my hair, so it's just going to stay on. So, all right. I'll start with 7th grade. Matthew and I teach that together. And we do all sorts of different projects with our 7th graders just to see where their interest lies and expose them to a little bit of everything that they're going to kind of grow upon in high school. So they did a hipster animal drawing. And if you know what a hipster is, this hat actually might be a really good example now that I think about it. But anyway, so it was their first attempt at grid drawing. And there's a lot of other grid drawings up here. So it's a good place to start. But grid drawing is really important because it teaches students. I always tell them, like, if they follow it and they have patience, they can draw anything they want. But the trick is you have to have patience. And you basically just take any object and break it down into simpler forms, shapes, and lines to create the overall picture. So 7th grade starts it with this animal hipster drawing, and they draw whatever animal they pick from a pre-chosen stack that we have, and then they basically style it when they're done. And they usually have a lot of fun with it because I think, and I don't know if you saw this, but that they kind of live through their animal in terms of what they put on the animal. So they'll have like tattoos and earrings and crazy hats and things like that. So they really enjoy that. And then in high school, they do a couple different grid drawings, which are up here. Express, like I said, is half a year class. So we try to expose them to a lot of different things in a shorter amount of time. And they do a grid drawing, but they also do this shaded forms drawing. So they go from drawing something that might look a little bit more flat to drawing something that has a bit of a form and it's more three-dimensional. So they start to learn how to do that through shading. And then the last thing that's up here, is we like to throw them some different interesting things that they haven't done before. They like it. It's a challenge. Sometimes they will fight back. But we did ink drawing this year, and we tried something a little bit different where they got to choose their image. They could create it, or they could take it off of the internet, whatever they wanted to do. But they had to draw it, and they drew it in a 4-square grid. So that came back to haunt them if they, tried to fight it in the first project. They had to draw it in ink as well, which was like, we're like, you can't erase ink, and then their heads kind of explode for a second. But then they calm down, and they're like, okay, I'm just going to do this. We taught them shading techniques prior to even starting the project, so we don't throw them into it totally unprepared. They always have multiple steps before they get to their project. And then they cut these out and created a giant collage. Whatever the shape was, they could do. So this particular student clearly likes Batman. But yeah, they have a lot of freedom with that project, and it just kind of grows from there into other classes. So, yeah, that's it.
I forgot to share that I teach 8th grade art, drawing and painting, foundations, as well as ceramics. But we didn't have any 3D work with us today because it's too hard to transport. So thank you for your time.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you.
All right. Hello. I am Daniel Geisel. I am the orchestra director, and here with me today I have Relish. I never call her that. Relish and Autumn here today. We're here to play a little short holiday tune here for you. Jingle Bells. Maybe you've heard of it. I hear it's popular this time of the year. So why don't we go ahead and do that first here?
So I was brought here today to talk about my favorite thing in orchestra and about orchestra. My main favorite thing is the community, and tied into that is Mr. Geisel. I have learned the most out of my music career with him out of the two other orchestra directors I've had. We also have an amazing community. I'm a high schooler, I'm a sophomore, and I go to X Period Orchestra where we have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and it is an amazing community, and 8th graders. It is an amazing, the single 8th grader. But it is a lot of fun. It is really worth waking up for. We have to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we practice until about 7:45. But it's totally worth waking up for, and I really hope you guys join.
Hi. She kind of stole my thing. I was also going to say community because I'm in 8th grade, and our 8th grade orchestra has a really strong sense of community. We have tons of inside jokes, and it just feels really nice whenever we get to hang out and play together.
Yeah, yeah, I like orchestra, being able to play an instrument for free. It's a nice privilege to have. Also having one of the best orchestra directors. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great experience. Mm-hmm.
I'll talk now. Yeah. All right, well, I just have to say that these three are fantastic students. I really enjoy working with them all. They're all just every day so excited to be in orchestra. It doesn't matter if it's like 7 in the morning for Autumn. She's always excited to be there, even if she says she's tired. By the end, I'm not so convinced she's really that tired. I've got, like Will, he's over here, like he's sending me just links and links about all this orchestra music, like Mr. Geisel. There's so many. I had to turn him down on a lot of music. I'm like, sorry, we can't play all that music. But he just keeps sending me stuff, and it's amazing. He's got a real passion for music. And then I've got Relish, of course, as well, who absolutely loves just all things arts in general. Like she's in theater. She was in the marching band doing some color guard, and she's in orchestra. And now she's been begging me like the entire year, like, can I please join next period? I'm like, you're a little busy right now, but I'm going to be glad to have her now for next semester as well. So I couldn't ask for any better students. They're wonderful. They make this job so worth it. I think that's about it. Yeah. Thanks for having us. Yes.
So musicians always have inside jokes. Tell us one.
I got you on the spot. Do you have someone on the spot?
Yes.
A good one. It's not going to really be inside anymore if she tells everybody no.
It's true.
Well, you make up some new ones.
of posters in our rooms that they, did you? My cousin. Yeah, lots of the 9th graders now did last year. They, there's one of handsome Squidward right above the mirror. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Not really orchestra related, but it is funny.
It is really funny. And then we've got Walter. He's a dog who's in front of the U.S. flag because he is our president of orchestra.
Also not really orchestra related, just funny. It's just funny.
Well, they're orchestra room related.
Fair, that's
Close
fair.
enough.
That's fair.
Hush. I don't see you contributing.
All right, I take back what I said about relish.
Thank you. That was well worth it.
Okay.
Molly Majestic. Hello, hi Molly.
There's a microphone on the podium. It won't sound like it's on.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss Fields, and when we were asked to pick one student to talk about our programs, I gratefully had a really hard time making that choice. So for today, we have Molly Majestic. Can we clap it up for her, please? Clap it up. And Molly is a 4th grader. I've taught her for the last 4 years now. And she went above and beyond. She will be singing a little bit for you all, but she also created a great PowerPoint to share with you. And we're going to start with the PowerPoint. Okay?
What is music? Music is the art of organizing sounds, vocal or instrumental, in time to create a composition using elements like melody, rhythm, harmony, and timbre to express emotion. How can students express music at FE? Music class, Voices of Finneytown, band, orchestra, the winter concert,
Which is tomorrow.
yeah, which is tomorrow, and the spring concert, which is in spring. What are some instruments Ms. Fields teaches us about boomwhackers, drums, kazoos, recorders, and so much more. Here are some pictures of some performances. Conclusion. This doesn't cover even half of what makes music feels so great here at FE. Thank you for supporting our programs. Here's one more fun fact about music. Did you know that pianos are percussion?
Okay, Okay, so Molly, I have the joy of having her 2 times. So number one, I do see her class once a week for 40 minutes for music, but she's also part of Voices of Harmony, which is one of our 2 choirs at Finneytown. So thankfully, you will get to see her perform with 48 other students in Voices of Harmony, and she's gonna sing a little bit, just a little appetizer of one of our songs tomorrow, and it's called Somewhere in My Memory.
Candles in the window, shadows painting the ceiling, gazing at the far glow, feeling that gingerbread feeling. Precious moments, special people, happy faces I can see somewhere in my memory. Christmas joys all around me, living in my memory. All of the music, all of the magic, all of the family home here with me.
Well done. Good job, Molly. Great job.
Molly, I hope you know that one of the biggest things about what you just did is the bravery to get up here and sing all by yourself with no music behind you. That took a lot of courage. So good job.
Can we give another hand for our staff and students for coming to our That's good. All right, how do we follow after that? All right, we're gonna.
Student stories will be on in January.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're going to move forward with our facility reports. Is Grant gonna handle that? Yeah. Okay, perfect. No worries.
I'm not coming up here to sing, I'll tell you that.
It's been a few tunes, Grant.
I can make some audio for you all. Fun fact, I did teach band and orchestra back in the day. All right, so I'm going to try and do this quickly, but just kind of give you guys a quick update of what's happening in facility land. So first up, new building update. Every 2 weeks we have a bi-weekly blitz, just that kind of gives you like an overview. So right now, on the academic side of the building where the classrooms are, those walls are nearly complete, and we have started to put in the steel for the second floor. And so that's pretty big. We have finished off the slab on the kind of activity side, where we've got the new gym and the cafeteria and things like that. And things that are coming up is getting to pour concrete on the second floor, because we have polished concrete on both the first floor hallways and the second floor hallways. So that's going to be going in. And then getting all of our walls up on the activity side, where we've got music, the commons, the cafeteria, and the gym. So current project kind of looks like this right now. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, just so you can kind of start to see. So on the right-hand side, they have it kind of covered up just to keep the surface going well, but this is the concrete pad for the gym. In this area, these are the locker room areas. If you take one more step, there's a hallway that goes from the front, or from the back of the building all the way to the front, that gives you access into the locker rooms, as well as maintenance areas and into the side of the kitchen. Back here is the kitchen area. You've got your fridge and freezer, dry storage, and this is the kitchen. Then out here, you've got student area. We've got, keep coming over here, you've got orchestra room, band room in this area, and then all the way over here, these are all of our classrooms, and you can start to see that we are actually, that's men on the second floor, which is exciting. So another project we have going on, oh, sorry, this was showing you the kind of the side view, and I'm going to give you an update on one other part in a second. Biggest thing coming in the next 2 weeks is we have a major electrical refeed on secondary campus. So Duke is requiring us to update our electric feed, and so we are coming in off of Cherry Blossom. So if you have been at Arrival lately and seen the giant truck out there with a big hose sucking stuff out of the ground, that is actually digging holes for our new electric that's going to be coming in. And so that'll take us from our current voltage, I think, which is right 4K, and we're taking us up to, is it 12 kVA? I think that's the right one.
Sounds good.
So pretty exciting. We are going to be without power in parts of those buildings, which you can see up here. So our gym is going to be closed. The competition gym is going to be closed over break. The 300 building, and then obviously we're feeding our new building. So it's all connected to the new building. It does impact also electric out at the stadium. All right, so biggest thing, there's a gobbledygook on here, but what I want you to know is this is just a Gantt chart. This is one of about 20 sheets that keep track of everything we have to do. What I will tell you is that we are on track. Okay, we've made all of our milestones. We are literally right here in our project. Permanent power is just next month. So we're getting all the lines in, and then once we have that, we're going to be going at it. I want you to know we get into this another couple steps down the line, by the end of March, we're dried in. Then we actually start getting, I know my guys were really excited about getting all of our low voltage set up in June and July. And then once we hit the fall, we are just like hardcore on finishes. So it is really coming along. We are 1 year and 3 days away from moving into the new building. So right now it's scheduled for Saturday, December 18th, 2026. So it's coming. Other thing that we have going on, we just needed one more project going on, but so we have a lobby roof replacement. So a couple years ago, we used ESSER dollars that did this top. You can see this top EPDM. It's a rubber roof material. The lower roof was done. There's I think 3 or 4 roofs on here right now, and one over top of the other. And the last one they did was about 6 years ago. It was spray foam, and that is totally falling apart. And we have water coming into our lobby, and so that is currently being cut and replaced as is right now. So there's some extra craziness. We still have access. We're still going to be able to host things, but it's going to be messy for about another 3 weeks. So, which is good timing because we have to have it closed for another 2 weeks anyway. So, and then I think that is our big overview. But I just wanted to hopefully give the community as well as you guys just a heads up. Everything's on track. We're making progress with additional projects, and campus is open, and we're doing the best we can with all the situations. Obviously, it gets a little muddy and things like that, so I really do appreciate everyone's patience as they drop kids off and traverse the building, especially for the band concert and orchestra concert over the last couple weeks. Really do appreciate people being patient, trying to navigate their way through, because we only have 70 parking spots beside the PAC. So, yes, sir.
And Mr. Anderson, you mentioned the roof that was on here before that didn't last a long time.
Yes, yeah.
What kind of roof will this one?
So the last roof was a spray foam roof, and it had a 5-year warranty.
Yes,
that
sir.
was it. And it was a short term. This one that we're putting on is the same material as what's on this top part.
Very good.
So this, it's roughly a 40-year warranty. And so it's a slightly different process, and we are ripping everything off. So this is a full rip-off. So when you go there, there's a dumpster that's being replaced every, I don't know, 6 hours or so whenever they're tearing that roof off, because there's that much junk on it. So.
Yeah, most districts in the region had that same issue with the 6-year temporary, so I'm happy about the 40-year deal.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
And that's the same thing with our new building. We did, similar to our elementary school that we bought, the state pays for a 20-year roof. We got an upgrade when we built the elementary. We got a 30-year roof. Same thing is happening with our new secondary campus. They gave us a 20-year roof. You guys already approved that change order. That moves us up a step. So hopefully that just puts us in a good place where we don't have to think about our roofs for a while. So.
Please.
Yeah.
I feel like we talk roofs every year.
Yeah, that is facilities. The joys. Do you guys have any other questions for right now?
Very good.
I just want to thank you for all your hard work
Oh,
and
yeah.
efforts that
Yeah.
you've put into this project.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got us to this point, and we
Yeah,
appreciate
we're going.
everything
We're
you're
going.
doing.
We're
Yes.
trying to keep us rolling. So thank you.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you. Moving to item number 6, public address. I just have a few announcements I'll need to read. All right. The board believes it is in the best interest of our students of the district here to hear comments from members of the public. It has been, therefore, a long-standing practice of the board to encourage and allow residents to speak at a public meeting. This may be done by completing the bottom portion of this form and giving it to the board president prior to the board meeting. The following guidelines ensure that everyone interested in addressing the board may do so, and that the board conducts the business of the school district in an effective and efficient manner. 1, attendees must register their intent to participate in the public participation portion of the meeting upon their arrival at the meeting by completing this form and returning it to the board president or presiding officer. 2, each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. 3, for the public record, each speaker addressing the board must state their name, address, and group affiliation if and when appropriate. Any material or handouts must be presented to the treasurer for record. The naming of individuals, profanity, abusive language, and speeches that invade individual privacies will not be tolerated or permitted. 5, the board will take no action regarding matters or issues presented through public address in the meeting in which the public address was made. All necessary follow-ups will be made verbally or in writing at a later date. Okay. And I believe we had 2 public addresses. Was there anybody else that needed to address the board? Okay. So we'll have up Mr. Harrell and Mr., am I pronouncing that right? Harrell? I'm sorry. Mr. and Mrs. Harrell. And they have 2, so we're going to split that up, and I'll let you know when the next 5 minutes starts. Okay?
All right. Good evening. I'm Katrina. This is Lee.
Hi.
I think you know us. First, we wanted to just start by saying thank you to the board, to Superintendent Smith, for your presentation on the federal funding last month. Tonight, we're going to build on that foundation by addressing how IDEA funding works within the broader special education budget, share some comparison data from similar districts, and ask 3 essential questions. First, to clarify how IDEA funding works. Last month's presentation showed Finneytown received approximately $840,000 in IDEA funding for fiscal year '24. Before comparing this to other districts, we need to understand what IDEA funds can and cannot pay for. Under federal law, IDEA funds must supplement, not supplant, state and local special education spending. Here's what that means, and you guys probably know this, but for other people. FAPE, free and appropriate public education, must be fully funded first through the state and local dollars. IDEA funds cannot meet the district's FAPE obligation. IDEA only pays for excess costs or services that go beyond regular education funding provides, beyond what regular education funding provides. Districts must maintain their maintenance of effort, meaning they cannot reduce state and local special education spending below the previous year's level. Nationally, federal IDEA spending represents under 20% of total special education expenditures, in line with what Superintendent Smith and Finneytown's IDEA fundings represented, which he showed last month, which represented 15% of the overall special education budget. The remaining 80 to 85% must come from state and local sources. That's by design. Federal funds are designed to enhance, not replace, core funding. This is why we need the complete special education budget across all funding sources and what percent of the general budget is allocated for special education. Without understanding how state and local funds flow alongside IDEA dollars, we cannot assess whether the district meets its FAPE obligations or verify compliance with federal law.
Now, with that context in mind, let's look at how comparable districts staff their programs. We sent out emails to Finneytown District and 11 other local school districts in Hamilton County. We received about 7 answers back. And we asked them how their spec ed departments are staffed, specifically requesting number of students, percentages of student on IEP, the number of intervention specialists, paraprofessionals, as well as related service providers. We also asked that if they break it down by school building if possible, and also by disability category. As I said, we received 7 responses in addition to Finneytown District data. And when you look at all of the information we collected, here are our most critical findings. 1, support staff to IEP student ratio differences. Finneytown's ratio of IEP students to paraprofessionals is 17.5 to 1. Deer Park, which is a comparable district, has a ratio of 4.6 to 1. This means that Deer Park has nearly 3 times the paraprofessional support for a similar-sized IEP population. This finding is similar to what we discussed with Winton Wood staffing ratio last month. In fact, all of the responses we received, Finneytown had the highest student to paraprofessional and student to IBS ratio of any of the school districts.
Elementary versus secondary staffing balance. Our staffing allocation doesn't align with best practice. Finneytown Elementary serves 59% of our IEP students, but has only 53% of the interventional specialists. This creates elementary caseloads of 15.8 students per specialist, while secondary caseloads are at 12.4 per specialist. Research shows younger students benefit from more intensive support, and early intervention improves outcomes. So we have an opportunity to reallocate resources to better match our student needs.
Next is, we're calling it the federal funding gap. Finneytown captures 7% of our revenue from federal sources, totaling about $1.9 million a year. Comparable districts, however, they capture 16 to 17% federal funding. This gap represents $1.6 to $2.1 million in potential federal dollars annually. Here's a comparison of that to Deer Park. They have about 1,100 students. Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just waiting to.
Oh.
She has to reset.
Yep, it's been reset.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Deer Park has about 1,100 students compared to our 1,170. They serve 175 IEP students, 16% of their population, compared to our 227 IEP students, which is 19% of our population. Both districts have similar intervention specialist staffing. We have 16, they have 14, but Deer Park employs 38 educational aides to our 13. They also capture 14% of their budget from federal revenue to our 7%, which is a 7-point gap, or double our federal funding rate. Reading Community shows a similar pattern. They serve 1,442 students, but only 200 students with an IEP. That's 14% of their population compared to our 19%. They employ 17 educational aides compared to our 13. They capture 16% federal revenue compared to our 7%, a 9-point gap. The staffing difference matters because adequate paraprofessional support helps prevent behavioral escalation, reduces teacher workload and burnout, and workout, I don't know, and enables students to access their IEP services. The question we have is, where does the funding come from to support these different staffing levels? Is this a difference in total special education budget? Is it a difference in allocation priorities or federal funding pursuits? We need the complete itemized budget picture to understand this gap and identify opportunities for improvement.
So we're requesting specific information for the January board meeting. Question 1, complete itemized special education budget. Can the board provide a comprehensive breakdown showing state special education funding received, local funds allocation to special education, federal IDEA funds received, total special education expenditures, and the percentage of total district budget allocated to special education? Ohio actually requires the district to file a special education fiscal accountability report demonstrating compliance with state funding requirements. This report would provide the comprehensive view we need.
Sorry, I got lost. This right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Can the board provide, also, question 2, supplement, not supplant compliance. Can the board provide documentation showing maintenance of effort calculations for the past 3 years, what criteria the district uses to document maintenance of effort compliance, and for each year, the percentage of IEP students served relative to total expenditures? Why does this matter? Seeing maintenance of effort alongside the percentage of students served helps us understand whether spending is keeping pace with the enrollment changes.
And finally, question 3, federal funding gap analysis. Can the board provide an investigation of which federal grants and reimbursement programs Reading, Deer Park, and similar districts pursue that Finneytown does not? Identification of who at the district level is responsible for pursuing additional federal funding opportunities. And we did provide also a list of the creative funding ideas at our last meeting, and we're happy to recirculate that if necessary. These questions point back to our 3 ongoing requests, which are transparency, formation and approval of a special education advisory committee, and an independent audit of special education programs, staffing adequacy, and compliance.
Looking ahead to January, we understand that 3 of the 5 current board members will be completing their terms at the end of this month. And let me just say we are deeply grateful for your service and we thank you. In January, we plan to recap the information we presented over the past few months and formally request that the Finneytown Board of Education draft and then pass a resolution establishing a special education advisory committee at the February board meeting. This would allow the new board approximately 1 month to get up to speed on the progress we've made so far and draft a resolution. Why a board resolution matters? Because special education advisory committees created through board resolution become official entities of the district, which ensures transparency through open meeting laws and creates accountability. Many comparable districts have established their advisory committees this way. We ask this board to demonstrate its commitment to special education services by supporting this formal structure.
In closing, the November presentation was a meaningful first step. The information we're requesting for January represents the next step in building transparency and accountability for our students. Our students with disabilities deserve to know that every available federal dollar is being pursued, that state and local fundings are meeting FAPE requirements, and that resources are deployed strategically to close gaps in the aid, like the aid staffing disparity with the neighboring districts. We appreciate the time, the conversations, and the ongoing support. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 7, review of action steps from last month. There were none. Item number 8, board coordination matters. Who would like to go first in the report?
I'm going to be rude. Can I go first? Because I know what I say will not be. You 3 have worked really hard for this district for the last 4 years, and I'm going to let you guys finish. And on your notes, then my hairy face. So I want to first off thank the hard work that you 3 have put together for the district. I know I'm learning. Being on the board is not an easy task, and making decisions that we have made in the short term that I've had with you it has been challenging, and as we, all 5 of us, even though Eddie's not here, but the 5 of us have tried to do our best to work together. But I do want to thank you for your hard work, your dedication to the community, and to the 2 that talked me into it. I do want to say thank you. This has been eye-opening, challenging for myself, but we are doing the community's work in this at this table, and as you guys move to your next step with Finneytown, your decisions will leave an impact for years to come. So thank you for talking me into it, and thank you for your hard work. So with that said, I do have to at least remind you, as Ms. Fields did say, there is a concert tomorrow at 7 o'clock at the elementary. So let's go, if we can, let's go see the kids, the young kids sing. The alumni is still rolling on, so go to finneytownalumni.org. They just had a turkey trot, their first annual turkey trot. That was a very success. Let me go back to the concerts, the orchestra concert and the band concert. Those who had the opportunity to attend, our students and our staff are doing a great job with these concerts. I appreciate the patience from our parents and grandparents and community as you guys navigate our parking lot, as our staff also tries to help navigate. So I appreciate everyone's patience as you pardon our dust, staff and community as well. So with that said, I'm going to end my speech and appreciate listening to what you guys have to say.
I can
Go ahead.
It's fine. You sure?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the last 4 years. Serving on this board has been one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences of my life. It has pushed me to grow in ways I never expected and helped me realize that not everyone thinks the same way as I do. The diversity of thoughts is what makes a board effective and equitable and ensures we truly represent our community. There were moments when I wanted to give up, but this community continually inspired me to keep going. I want to thank my husband and my children for their unwavering support throughout this journey. I can only imagine how difficult this last 4 years have been for them, hearing me talk about the board approximately 1,000 times a week, sometimes before tea. Thank you for your patience, your encouragement, and your love. I also want to thank my mom for her constant support and encouragement, and to all the community members who stood by me, encouraged me, trusted my decisions, and showed appreciation along the way. This position is often a thankless role. No matter what you do, it can feel like someone will always be upset. Still, it is incredibly important work. If I could offer a bit of advice to the newcomers, don't view your fellow board members as competition. You are a team. Nothing meaningful happens without collaboration. I realized early on that I could never match Jamie's legal knowledge, Lindsay's clerical skills, Seth's wit, and Eddie's deep roots in Finneytown. But we all bring our own gifts to the table. When those strengths are recognized, respected, and brought together, the possibilities are endless. Together, you create opportunities that no single person can accomplish alone. I want to thank Mr. Smith for coming to Finneytown and giving me an incredible sense of hope for the district's future. Working alongside him has been the most positive experience of my time on the board. I truly appreciate his hard work and dedication to strengthening our academic programs. Anita, thank you for stepping outside of your comfort zone and bringing innovative ideas to the table. Your willingness to challenge yourself has been meaningful and impactful. And Grant, your support is invaluable. Thank you for always working to ensure our district is well cared for and supported. I wish the entire board the very best in all of your future endeavors through both challenges, successes. It has been a pleasure working alongside each of you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Finneytown's future is incredibly bright, and I look forward to watching our students continue to achieve great things. Let's go Wildcats.
So nothing really to report, but for my ending words, I guess. One of the things I really wanted to do is remind everybody what we came from. We had a very challenging start, 3 of us coming in brand new, and while we are very involved, we were very knowledgeable parents, you don't know what you don't know. We came in here and we thought we had a plan and we knew what was going on, and we were met with challenges that were behind the scenes that no one else realized were there. And it was a little bit of a shock, but we came in, we planned to be safety-oriented, student-first driven, and immediately the goal was to have a culture shift. We came in, if you remember our first meetings, they were 30-minute meetings with no questions asked and no votes. That's changed. We talk, we collaborate, we discuss. It was a big culture shift to ask questions. We brought back evaluations for the superintendent and the treasurer. They hadn't been done for several years. We opened communication with staff and students. They feel safe and empowered to come to us when there are concerns. We updated the strategic plan, and not only was it updated because it was due, but it now includes SMART goals. We changed the mission and vision of the school to be meaningful and to match the work that we were doing. I can't not mention paid parental leave for our teachers who are using that time to grow and build their families and take care of themselves in very meaningful and important ways so that they can come back to work and do the work we need them to do here with our students. We clearly had our growing pains, and one of the downsides of the job is, unfortunately, those growing pains are very visible to the public. Our job is very open to the public, and you get to see every good, bad, and even the ugly that happens between us. But in those moments, we kept everything incredibly transparent, even the bad. And I think that was, it took courage to do that. And it meant a lot to the community to be that transparent. And it meant that we learned a lot, and we've built a stronger culture in this school district. And I think that is incredibly important. To the new members coming on, I just have 3 things to recommend. One is to always be curious, not judgmental. Always open up and ask questions and look for what you don't understand, because there's always something you don't understand. Number 2, asking questions is not micromanaging. This came up a lot in the last 4 years as we shifted the culture. Asking questions is your job. And then finally, on the third one, unfortunately, there will be things that happen that you don't like or you regret later or you find out were wrong. Your job is to fix it. And you cannot please everybody. So then to Anita and Anthony, Jamie, Seth, Jalecia, and Eddie, who's not here, it has been truly a pleasure to work with you. I really appreciate all that you have taught us, the patience that you've had while we grew and learned, and just the collaboration you've brought to this space. So thank you. Thank you for making it a wonderful experience.
I actually didn't write anything down, which is a first for me. That's because I knew I would be saying a lot of the same things that Lindsay and Jalecia said. First off, Lindsay, Jalecia, thank you for undertaking this voyage with me. One of the most difficult parts of it was how close we were before the election, and then once we were elected, we kind of had to stop talking about all of the things that we wanted to do if it wasn't in public, and that is extremely difficult to do when you talked as much as we did. But thank you for doing this. Seth, Eddie, thank you as well. Tony, thank you for being on the board with us. There are some things I'm proud of that we've done. First off, I truly think the school district is in a better place than it was 4 years ago. I think we are going in the right direction. I think the changes, I think the leadership that we have in place with Anthony, Anita, Grant, Jen, I think it's really going to change the way the school is going. It's going to match the new buildings. It's going to match the new culture, I think, that we started to create. My kids asked me not to run again, and they wanted to see me more. So happy for them, disappointed that I'm not going to get to work with you anymore in this official capacity. I am offering, if there's anything you think I can help out with, please call. And I'm willing to do what I can. Anita, thank you for stepping into the role. And taking over the financial responsibilities and all the reporting and everything, and the questions that you're going to be getting and need to respond to. And then Lindsay mentioned a couple of the policies, but I think it's more, paid parental is a big deal. But one thing we came in talking about, proud, passionate parents, and while we were all, I think we did that. And passion is different for everyone. And everyone that's in this seat, I think, wants the same thing. They want what's best for kids and they want what's best for Finneytown. We just may not agree on what is best. And to the new board, don't take it personal if someone disagrees with you. Just that's kind of your job, right? This is a five-headed being, this board. And it's got to be difficult for people like Anthony and Anita to deal with essentially like 5 bosses who have to act as one and don't always want to do that. But again, disappointed I'm not continuing because I truly think we are headed in the right direction. I think the changes are going to be very, very positive. I'm disappointed that I probably shouldn't say this. I don't have a vote on this matter. I really, really hope this district trusts the leadership that we have now, but also Grant Anderson is Finneytown. I really appreciate all of the time that I got to work with him, and we'll see each other on the baseball field now when our kids are playing together. But I really think Grant will be a big part of the future of this district, and I hope he continues to do that and lead the way that he has. And finally, I tried to put the kids first, and I hope the teachers realize that they were a big driving factor for me. I honestly believe that when it comes to representation in the community, with our families of students, our teachers are our strongest weapon. They are the biggest representatives of this district because they are the people that interact with the kids' families that are here every day, and I think we need to continue to treat the teachers that way. It shouldn't be them versus an administration or versus a board. I think it needs to be collaborative. The school board is here to represent the community, and the teachers are a very large part of that community. And I hope it continues. I think things are getting better, and I hope it does because I know that will be, that is the benefit for the kids. If we can get teachers, we saw a bunch tonight. This was fantastic, and the passion that they have for the kids and their jobs, I truly love seeing it, and I hope it continues. So thank you for the opportunity, everybody. Thank you for trusting me and voting me into the position. I learned a lot about myself, and I gave everything I had, and you know, I really think we're in a better place than we were. So thank you very much.
Anybody have anything else? All right, so Seth and Mr. Smith, if you guys would like to schedule the organizational meeting and the tax budget meeting, do you want to do that now or arrange a time later?
I believe January 12th is scheduled.
Yes, the organizational meeting and tax budget meeting is scheduled for January 12th. We anticipate doing the swearing in at 6:15. Do you think it needs to move to 6, just out of curiosity? Will there be enough time? 15 minutes to take care of it, I guess, is what I'm asking. You think it should be moved to 6?
Gonna need probably
3 people, probably. Probably 6 o'clock. I think 6 would be fine.
Okay.
I think 6 would be good.
I just don't know if people are gonna bring their families or
Right,
whatnot.
I know what you mean, or like how we did our, yeah.
Okay, so let's reach out to the new board members and just confirm that 6 o'clock is okay. But the organizational meeting itself will start at 6:30.
And you'll take care of that.
I'll do.
Okay, perfect. All right. Moving along to item number 9, financial matters. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right, if you could walk us through this, Ms. Ruffin?
Ian? So total revenues for the month of November, 648,246. Fiscal year to date, 10,548,293. Total expenditures, $1,684,774. Year to date, $7,928.83. Our cash balance is $12,638,805. Fiscal year to date, our expenditures are exceeding our revenue. Well, for the month of November, expenditures exceeded revenues by $1,036,527. But for fiscal year to date, our revenues are exceeding our expenditures by $2,620,210. If you look at the chart that was sent to you, you can see that we're kind of still we're tracking very closely to what we budgeted, which I feel is pretty fortunate so far. Depository and investment balances as of November 30th. For the U.S. bank account, $487,153. For the U.S. bank construction, it's $3,878. Star Bank construction number 1 is $3,418,454. Star Ohio, $26,409,314. Star Ohio construction number 2 is $2,964,935. Star Ohio local share is $153,976. And Star Ohio, the state share, is $5,027,582. Interest earned on depository and investment accounts as of November 30th. In the general fund, we earned $95,340. Construction fund, $29,878. And in classroom facilities fund, $18,758. You will notice that our interest earnings are beginning to decrease. Just thought I would point that out.
See that in the news all the time?
I'm sorry?
See that in the news all the time?
Yes, and it has a real life effect, right? So,
And Ian, if I can just point out that number might scare people where you said that our expenditures exceeded our revenues. That's because we get a bulk of our revenues at the beginning of the year, right?
Correct.
Like there's a month that's way ahead.
Correct.
And then we just kind of eat into that as we go. So,
yes.
okay.
Thank you. For the monthly bond commitment project, total proceeds for that project is $63 million. So far, we have expended $32 million, and we have cash available of $31 million. So we're about halfway through our money, I guess, our proceeds for our project, which kind of makes sense considering where we are in our building project. And then we have approval of an invalid purchase order. We received this purchase order in September, but we did not have, we received this invoice in September, but we did not have a valid purchase order in place for it. This money will actually come from our non-pub funds, so it's not coming out of our general fund, but we still, because of timing, still need to bring this to the board because it is $3,000. Are there any questions about the financials?
All right, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Mr. Plout?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
All right. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 10, superintendent's recommendations. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion.
Second? I'll second. All right, this brings
Madam
us to
President
you.
and Board. 10.1, adoption of the consent calendar. Letter A, acknowledgement of resignations. Letter B, approval of classified contract revisions. Letter C, approval of contract athletic supplemental for the year 2025-26. Letter D, approval of payment updates, certified staff. Letter E, approval of payment certified staff, and that's for effective of August 1st through 2025 to July 31st of 2026. Approval of membership in the Ohio School Board Association, membership dues, and the OSBA briefcase. Approval of substitute rates. Consideration of school calendar for the year 2026 and 2027. The board wanted to make sure that there were 2 years in advance. And then consideration of school calendar 2027-28. Letter J with adoption of resolution, payment in lieu of transportation. And that's it.
I also wanted to say really quick, I noticed that, if you notice, there is the approval for the athletics guy, for the athletic football coach. The reason why this is brought so late is because he did not have his pupil activity permit completed until just recently. So we really are not to pay someone if they don't have that in place. So that is the reason why it is bringing this late. And I wanted to head off if there were any questions about that.
Any questions? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Plow?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 11, notification of change orders, GMP 1.2 for the new 7 through 12 building. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions? All right, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Mr. Plow?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 12, real estate transfer. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay. And basically, this resolution just moves us forward with the Whitaker project, and as we know more, we can communicate more with the community, but this moves us forward in the right direction. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Mr. Plow?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 13, announcements. The next regular meeting of the Finneytown Board of Education will take place on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, at the Brent Board Office Meeting Room, 8791 Brent Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45231. Open forum will begin at 6 o'clock. May I have a motion for adjournment, please?
Go ahead, Jaleesa.
All right. All those in favor of adjournment, please indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. That's it. We have cake in the back, cupcakes. Help yourself. And also, I'd like to recognize